it's time to bring you all the action from the Imperial Toyota Casterbridge Enduro, proudly brought to you by Imperial Toyota Nelspruit, along with Seasons in Africa. So the year has started bright, fresh and early. The first round was a tough one. The next one is going to be even harder. Casterbridge Boutique Hotel hosting us from this round. And once again, everyone keen as you like to get behind the bars and get out into some of God's country, the most beautiful enduro terrain South Africa has to offer. Once again, Imperial Toyota Nelspruit bringing us all of this racing action, along with Seasons in Africa. They're going to be up in the sky when we go out onto the big trails. Age category riders, pros, men and women alike, brothers and sisters, mums and fathers, all going out there to get the job done. The Casterbridge has really become one of those events to tick off the list. The junior category racers will be out there as well on the mini track, but for this show, we'll be focusing on the big loop. Defending champion Dwayne O'Claniams would be there along with some of his good buddies.
Yeah, as you know, I grew up in Nelspruit. This is my hometown. Used to practice here a lot, and I've missed it so much. Haven't raced for a year. 2 years ago I stopped racing. Back again, focused on the off-road nationals this year, but my heart still stays with Enduro. And the Lowveld Enduro is an awesome event, well organized, passionate people, awesome terrain that they use. So yeah, I spoke to Francisco from KTM, and we're looking at doing the roof the end of the year. So we're going to use this as training. No better place to train than the Lowveld Enduros. So yeah, it's good to be back here. I think it's 3 years ago I used to race here, but very excited for the day. Looking forward to it.
Good to have Lawrence Mahoney getting onto the smoker and getting out into the big hills. He'd have his work cut out though, but everyone would be chasing down on one man, Dwayne O.
Yeah, I had a good round the last one. I love these Lowveld events. Unfortunately, I'm coming in with a big injury from the national. My tendons and ligaments are done in my forearm, but you know, I figured I might as well come try. So there's no expectations today. I just need to see how I can deal with the pain, and let's hope to get to the finish line.
In some of the age categories, the man to watch out for in the Masters this time around would be Otto Horlacher himself, and Kirky would be going at it.
I don't think it'll be anything like last time. Last time it was rainy. Today it's going to be dry. I think it'll be good. It's going to be hot. It's going to be tough. But I'm looking forward to it.
Otto telling us how it is going to be Slade and the missus doing all the timing for us. And down on the line, it was clear that it was going to be a completely different beast this time around. Not so much mud, a little bit more rocks, dust, and extreme heat in the Lowveld. Some nice handouts for the guys, a quick rider's briefing, and then once again, down to the matter of business and racing. We caught up with Mering on the line.
Yeah, look, last year when we were here it was pouring with rain, so I think today the ground will be nice and tacky. There's some flowing sections in the track as well, so I think we're in it for a good day.
Hopefully it'll be a good ride, just as tough as the last one, and just have a great time out there on the bike, stay safe.
As has been the case almost throughout his entire career, first man off the gate and opening up the track would be Dwayne O, our reigning Lowveld Series champion. Johan Pretorius would do the chase down. But the man that had to be a massive threat this time out would be Boren Erasmus, showing off a little bit of trial skills before he goes out into the hills. Stylish rider. We'll go on board with him as he goes out and chases down a bit of clear air. Beautiful enduro cross section for the folks out in the stands to enjoy before we lose sight of our superheroes out on the trails. Lovely bit of grass track, up on the back wheel, through the gearbox before things get tight. And in Lowveld Enduros, you know, you just live in the hope that it's not going to be too long before you get to those hills. Bryce Van Heerden has done an incredible job so far this season to get himself used to his new machine as he goes on out getting chased down by Keegan Ike. Ike is definitely a man to watch out for, but watch out for Lawrence Mahoney. Famous for being top gear, flat out all the time, but remember, he is a former Roof of Africa winner, so he knows how to balance and get up those rocks when he has to. Greg Hodgkin would be out there as well, getting chased down by Stefan Nieuwhout. Steph making the trip and bringing a load of the Raceworks KTM guys along for the ride. Up in our eye in the sky, once again brought to you by Seasons in Africa. We check out what the low terrain looks like. Some nice flowing high-speed stuff. This would definitely suit the off-road spec guys like Lawrence Mahoney until you get into the tech zones. And as soon as you get in tech, you get traffic, and you have to find those spotting lines. Erasmus on fire in the trees. Erasmus riding on a Ambassador Foods sponsored KTM as he joins up at the Marshall points. Bagging and tagging his way up on, looks like the back wheel of Garvey as they head into the Wattles once again. And a little bit up close and personal with some of the terrain. So all that chasing that he did, he's going to have to push hard once again. Very, very loose underfoot, you can see. Lots of hidden rocks and leaves and shadows as well at this point of day. Barton will like it when it gets more open up onto the treacherous rocky climbs. He'll have to wait a little while though, because out of the trees and into the bush as well. Very, very tight conditions here. And by this stage, only 2 riders having made their way through. You can see already back up onto the back wheel of Robbie Garvey. The track's KTM man being kind, moving over and waving Erasmus through, clearly knowing that Erasmus is on fire today and wanting to run first wheel. It's a nice shot of him now running out front. So the man that started outside of the top 3 now leads as Dueno. We get some feedback that Dueno has wrong slotted big time and is completely lost out on the loop, which means Erasmus runs first and Robbie Garvey on the 410 tracks KTM up into the number 2 spot. Let's see if he can stay there as well, because that'll be a nice finish for him. A little bit further back, Bryce Van Heerden has made his way through. In fact, it's Moritz Mering. They're running very, very similar colors. All white bikes, all white kit. So Moritz Mering having a nice ride here. 3rd position as he breaks his way out of the trees. Calvin Garvey now running in the colors of Raceworks KTM. So the first time he has actually rolled out in those colors, just inside of the top 5. But he has to watch out because the number 200, Bryce Van Heerden, who is in the form of his life in 2018, is a man to watch out for on the charge. Shouldn't be long until we see Lawrence Mahoney as he pops his head just out of the trees. Won't take long until he remembers exactly how to bounce the 300 up and around the trees and the rocks. A top 5 will be a nice finish for him. But remember, he's one of the fittest and strongest riders out there. He will push on hard. Just after that, we pick up on Keegan Ike. And this is a rider who is about to break his way into superstardom. Last year was strong. This year, even better. And he's definitely got a couple of top 5s in his back pocket. Janelle de Villiers making the long trip up from Cape Town to come and play with us in the Lowveld. That's a hell of a commute to get to your job. We appreciate him making the trip up. The 525 of Bruno Arnaldi muscling his way through the trees, very, very tightly marked. In fact, the riders came back and said the first half of the loop was very tricky, very well marked, but very close. You couldn't make any mistakes, otherwise you're going to be going straight into the bush. And here's a guy with a hell of a pedigree. Great to see JJ Daisel, former winner of Warrior events, GXCCs and motocross, coming and joining us here at the Lowveld. And join us after the break as we continue all of the racing action from the Imperial Tour and Nelspruit Casterbridge Enduro.